Hello and welcome back to CMS Coaching Academy. Today in geography class we will be studying ecology and environment. Waina chuanin ecology le environment kan ziranga masabera chuanin environment. Enge environment kan ti chuanin it is the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal or plant lives or operates. Kaka environment niya. Chuanin ecology enge kan ti ve thunga chuan enge kan ti ve chuanin ecology ve thung chu it is a science in which study of organism is undertaken in relation to environment. Kaka ecology betungani in relation to environment. So any components of environment can say put on a microenvironment, physical, le biotic environment can microenvironment hianin hemikan local surroundings of the organism, immediate local surroundings of the organism kang hoka microenvironment apwama. So anin microenvironment betung chuanin it forms both the physical and biotic conditions that surround the organism externally. Kaka microenvironment betunganiya. So in physical environment in temperature, quantity, light, rainfall, soil, minerals, kang hoka physical environment kan ne betung tetsuniya. In biotic environment in living factors kan yang plants, animals, le microorganisms te kang hoka biotic environment kan betungani. In functions of ecosystem kan betunganga ecosystem shim hi ingen yang 1935 kan A.G. Tansley hianin he first used the term ecosystem. Heta hianin he defined ecosystem as a particular category of physical system consisting of organisms and inorganic components in a relatively stable equilibrium which is open and of various sizes and kinds. Kaka ecosystem A.G. Tansley na allow define na ni. So ang components of ecosystem ayan Tansley lelo kanga abiotic kanaya abiotic ayan non-living kanti ang air, water, soil kanti te kang kanoma. So anin biotic components ayan plants, animals le microorganisms te kanaya. Ecosystem shim hi three categories can divide thaya. Producers, consumers le decomposers kang hoka kan ecosystem ne te chuan niya masabra producers tu anmani le anmania cho in siam the kan tiang ho chiang kha producers ania. So producers are organisms that can make organic energy resources from abiotic components of the environment. So they can produce their food themselves. So next one in consumers kan nebele tunga consumers tu anmania so in siam thelo producers they are dependent kaka consumers kan tiang ho khania. So consumers are those organisms that gather energy by consuming organic material from other organisms. Primary consumers kan primary consumers how hitsu they are the organisms who consume mainly producers. So on primary consumers kanti how hitsu herbivores kanti ang hawang kanni. So on secondary consumers betung how hitsu they are the organisms who consume mainly primary consumers. So on tertiary consumers kandilia tertiary consumers too they are the organisms that consume secondary consumers. So tertiary consumers how hitsu carnivores kanti ang how kanniya omnivores kandilia. So omnivores how betung hitsu they feed on both producers and other consumers. So next so in decomposers kan nebele tunga decomposers itsu they are the organisms that break down dead or decaying organisms. Antinan bacteria te fungi te kanti how ka decomposers ani betunga ni. So in functions of ecosystem kan nga functions of ecosystem and food chain te food web te and trophic levels se kang how kan soilona. Main functions of ecosystem hi material emo nutrient cycle le biological emo ecological regulation kantia khanin kan trend thaya. So in food chain masabara chuanin kan soyang food chain hi flow of energy from one organism to another organism. Kaka food transfer kami food transfer ka food chain kanti chunia. Antinan grass hi insect in area insect ka frogs in an area frogs ka snake in an area snake ka hawk in an area. Kaka example that would be a simple example of food chain. Food web ve thung chu food chain kan soi zau che kami network of food chain ka food web kan ti ve thung chu nia. So feeding relationships by which energy and nutrients are passed on from one species of living organism to another. Kaka food web tu ni ve tungani. So ni trophic levels hianin kanen le anga trophic levels hitu they are the feeding position. Food chain of feeding position kanne ho khania internal primary producers herbivore, primary producers herbivore, primary carnivore, etc. Khang ho khania. So basically green plants how ka first trophic level ania, producers kanti how herbivores kanti how angka they form the second trophic level, carnivores le omnivores ka they are the third or maybe even the fourth trophic levels kanti how kan ni ve tungani. So anin next start so anin pollution kan en mahianin biomes kan so yang biomes sa hianin kan important biomes kan so ite chu tundra kan kite boreal forest, temperate deciduous forest, savanna, temperate grassland te Mediterranean desert le tropical rainforest kang ho ka kan biome kan ti chu nia biome ki enge kan ti chuanin biome shim hi chu it is a large natural ecosystem. Biosphere kan ti hi largest ecosystem on earth ania hemi hi it is divided into biomes. So kan biomes masaber tundra hianin na season pania oma dry le frozen deserts kan tiang khania plants ave thunga hi tin hetilai muna hianin plants a hianin thingkung hi mutura no mumal lawa atang puin mosses and lichens kan ti te grass te kha le small shrubs kan ti te khang hau khanin an dominate ber hetilai mun hi insects te mammals, large hoofed mammals kan ti dap kerte le wolves te small rodents te khang hoka antame membo kani boreal forest ve thunga hi chuanin classic hi re mema fall le spring hi re lo te omboka summer hi 2 to 3 months ve la nei phaboka hetilai muna hi chuanin engen yang boreal forestry kan ti te conifers pine kan ti te bog plants ferns le mosses te khang ho ka antame mema chuanin temperate deciduous forest kan nei le temperate deciduous forest hi chuanin 4 seasons kan nei kan huthea so mainly plants how ve thungi chu it is a very complex levels of vegetation. Deciduous trees kan tiang khata memboka savanna kan nei velia savanna hitu grass te shrubs small shrubs kan ti te khang hau na kha ani kam puya temperate grassland kan nei lia temperate grassland po hi kam puin grass in and dominata so anin main physical characteristic at one in temperate it is temperate and some subarctic grassland. Next at one in Mediterranean kan Mediterranean hitu mild wet winter hemitu mild wet winter it is mainly followed by hot dry summer kan ti kakhan main physical characteristic min peya chuanin hetilai muna hianin thingkung toite te le shrubs kan tiang hau te kha anoma mammals hi yang mammals chi shang an tame birds te insects te le dry habitats kan ti hawang kha anom tam pui bokani chuan desert kan ne desert too as we all know it is a very dry and mainly cactus te shrubs te khang hau kha anom tam puya tin small rodents le reptiles kan tiang hau bak kha and survive thailawani. So in tropical rainforest kan ne tropical rainforest too very hot heavy rainfall khani meya amaro chu hetilai huna hianin and soil nutrients hi engena apure mema so temperature hi it is constant throughout the year, that is wet and dry seasons. So those are the different biomes or important biomes that we can say. Next hianin pollution, environment pollution kan en pasaberanga pollution hi enge ani kan ti chuanin environmental pollution is the effect of undesirable changes in our surroundings. Kay mani machine te le plants te animals te khata harmful effects can take up pollution so ania pollutants ve thung chu pollutants ve thung chu they are the substances which cause pollution. So liquid ni emo solid ni emo gaseous state ni emo khang hau kha pollutants ani ve thunga primary pollutants le secondary pollutants a kan chen chang thaya primary pollutant kan ti ang chi ang hi chu directly from the source atanga directly substance anzu emit kha primary pollutants and secondary pollutants ve thung chu they are the pollutants which react in the atmosphere when in contact with the primary pollutants. So primary pollutants are here sulfur dioxide SO2 kan tiang te, nitrogen oxides NO2 te, carbon monoxide CO te, chlorofluorocarbon CFCs kan ti te, carbon dioxide CO2 te le ni suspended particulate matter SPM kan tiang te, ammonia kan tiang te le volatile organic compounds or toxic metals kan ti te khang ho primary pollutants kan nei ten nia. Secondary pollutants a ve thung hi chuanin yang ground level ozone kan ti deuh khera he han they are formed from the N2 and the volatile organic compounds VOCs kan ti atanga ronin siam kan nia le PAN kan ti te khang ho kha kan secondary pollutants ve thung te chu ni. Masabara chuanin air pollution kanina. Air pollution occurs when the air contains gases, dust, fumes or odor in harmful amounts, that is amounts which could be harmful to the health or comfort of humans and animals, or which cause damage to plants and materials. The substances that cause air pollution are called pollutants. So we can say it is the contamination of air by a variety of substances causing health problems and damaging our environment. Kaka air pollution tuni. So air pollutant or air pollutants that engeni kanin be effects kanin mine. Effects le air pollutants kanina nga masabra so nitrogen oxide le sulfur dioxide kan so yang they are the main contributors to smoke and acid rain. So these gases both react with volatile organic compounds VOCs contain kanin anin react in smoke kantiang chi kha machine tatana respiratory problems siam the kha an siam ani. So anin hemi ba ka hianin air pollutants and carbon monoxide te, carbon dioxide te, chlorofluorocarbons le ozone te kan nei boka. Carbon monoxide CO kanti ang hitu they are produced from incomplete combustion of fuel kanti entinan natural gas te, coal te, wood te khang hawa changa insiam khania tin tobacco smoke te achang hianin kan dong thei boka achan chu kan reflect santing wanga tin ke mani minti zoya mutsuak ten min siam thei boka ni. So carbon dioxide CO2 kanti ang khakan leya it is a principal greenhouse gas kanti khania. So primarily greenhouse effect tan hianin and main responsible an nibokani. So it can be formed from all types of common human activities entinan burning fuels te le kan thok shim po hianin kan siam bokani, as we all know that. So chlorofluorocarbon CFCs kan nei boka. Chlorofluorocarbons ve thung hi chu industry yan. So they are generally used in great quantities in industry, refrigeration ate, air conditioning ate, le any other consumer products at changa kandon kan ni boka. Ozone ve thung hi chu it occurs naturally in the upper atmosphere. Hemi hianin sun's dangerous ultraviolet rays at changa earth protector siamania amaro chu ground level mu ani hianin machine tatan hianin it is pollutant. So ozone is a component of photochemical smoke. It causes coughing, chest pain, breathlessness and irritation of the eye, nose and the throat. Next up, before we move on to water pollution, control and measures of air pollution. Kasi nga ingtinge kan control ang ingtinge measure kan lak tayang masabera choni kan fuel man te kan fuel man te kan uluk turania, so there should be a careful and suitable fuel selection. Tin industrial process te po hi pollution siam theilaw na air pollution atam law nan ber modification kan siam theya. Tin engines kan man te po, they must be more efficient. Tin yang public transport te mang tam turin awareness te po kan siam theya. Correct selection of manufacturing sites si apoy mo membo kani. So next in water pollution akan lud betung nga water pollution betung hitsu, it is the contamination of water bodies into lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers and groundwater kan kite. And this form of environmental degradation occurs when pollutants are directly or indirectly discharged into water bodies without adequate treatment to remove harmful compounds. So, water pollution too, it is a contamination of water bodies. Kan siya angin. San hetahan BOD kan kihi kanina nga BOD too. Yang biological oxygen demand kan tikhan niya amount of dissolved oxygen aerobic microorganisms kan panchin kami measure na atana man kaniya. So it is an important water quality parameter. Tin organic pollution indicator atana man nanibo kani. Noise pollution na kan lule, main control and measures of water pollution kan soile zoya nga control and measures of water pollution na betung hitwanin mipuite mas social awareness e poy mo ma kan generate masaber turan niya. Tin groundwater pollution ki, it can be also be eliminated by maintaining strict restrictions abitakin regarding waste disposal. So industrial effluents should be effectively recycled to water can release mine, they should be effectively recycled. So next we have government initiatives. The International Water Policy 2002, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. They come government hianin control boards tehi water pollution control nan hianin aron initiate boka. Tin hemi baka hianin National River Conservation Plan kanti Namami Ganj program te, they have also been started to clean up the precious rivers that we have in India. So next noise pollution akan luta nga noise pollution kanti noise pollution or noise disturbance is the disturbing or excessive noise that may harm the activity or balance of human or animal life. The source of most outdoor noise worldwide is mainly caused by machines and transportation systems, motor vehicles, aircraft and trains. So we can say noise pollution too, machine tatana kill shed non-harmonious sounds, vibrations that are unpleasant and irritating to hear. Noise pollution niya. So standard for the measurement of noise akan minhi decibel ni bokane. So noise pollution creates diseases and problems nge acoustic kanelle. So machine te hypertension te, hearing loss te sleep disturbances te. Continuous noise it can also create panic situations and frustration levels and it also impacts the health of wildlife on land as well as oceans. And sharing too under the Environment Protection Act 1986, the central government has come up with rules to curb the noise pollution. Next, we have biodiversity. Land pollution po kanlan area. Land pollution, it refers to degradation or destruction of Earth's surface and soil. It may be directly or indirectly. Human activities te atanga kanle anikang puya kaka land pollution niya. It explains any activity that lessens the quality or productivity of the land as an ideal place for agriculture, forestation, or we can say construction. atang green land pollution ve thung hi agricultural activities te, overcrowded landfills te, industrialization te, nuclear waste te, sewage treatment te, kang hawa changa kan don ber kha ania amaro chu solution te po oma solution a hianin mipui social awareness, mass awareness siam hi apoi mo emema, so we have to make people aware about the concept of reduce, recycle and reuse, and we have to practice organic farming, chemical pesticides le fertilizers, agricultural activities sa mangkem ka kang how kan practice na sa tangaya, and we also have to avoid buying packages items, garbage siam tam theite kang how kan avoid theboka, and no littering on ground and proper disposal of garbage, and tunay aton kan mangchan to using biodegradable products there, and organic gardening and organic food kang how kan solutions for land pollution tan ni mele thungani. Chuan next chuan biodiversity kanina nga biodiversity. What is the meaning of biodiversity in simple words? Kanti chuan biological diversity too, it is the number and types of plants and animals that exist in a particular region or in the world. International Day for Biological Diversity is observed on 22nd May every year. So in a biodiversity kanti chuan it refers to the variety living world within the living world. So the term is commonly used to describe the number, variety and variability of living organisms. Atang queen biodiversity. Here types of biodiversity can so biodiversity is often seen in the terms of three fundamental and hierarchical related levels of biological organization. So how to genetic diversity te, species diversity te, habitat diversity, or we can say ecosystem diversity. Masabara ba genetic diversity kan enswanin genetic diversity hitu it represents the heritable variation population le organisms in